From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening, Fairbanks, and thank you for joining us. After a pointed request from the Alaska Congressional Delegation, the U.S. Air Force today announced it will extend the public comment period for the proposed transfer of the F-16 Aggressor Squadron from Eielson Air Force Base to Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson.
That's right, citing concerns about lack of available housing, noise, and community frustration. The delegation sent a letter to the Air Force on July 22nd requesting the extension. Comments, which were to end August 2nd, will now be taken until August 30th. Meanwhile, Senator Lisa Murkowski today thanked her Defense Appropriations Subcommittee colleagues for including language to prohibit the use of fiscal 2014 funds to move the F-16s from Eielson to Anchorage. She bolstered the case by pointing out yesterday's news that Eielson is being seriously considered for an F-35 squadron.
This whole notion that we would somehow be able to save money by warm basing Eielson was something that was attempted back in 2005 with the BRAC Commission. Didn't work then, and we've suggested that it's not going to yield cost savings again. It was just yesterday that the commander of Pacific Air Forces, General Carlisle, says that Eielson is a top pick for the first operational squadron of the F-35s in the Pacific. So it just causes you to question, if it's so ideal for your F-35s, what is the rationale behind relocation of the F-16?
A common talking point in support of the plan for trucking liquefied natural gas is that once funded, the project could deliver in 2 years. The Regulatory Commission of Alaska is in town this week holding public meetings on the issue. The RCA is taking comments on 2 applications aimed at distribution operations. Fairbanks Natural Gas, a private company, has certification for operations in Fairbanks and has applied for one in North Pole. The Interior Alaska Natural Gas Utility is the other applicant. Both made their push in front of commission members and a near standing room only crowd this evening at Fairbanks North Starborough Chambers. The Regulatory Commission of Alaska must now decide between the 2 entities. But according to Fairbanks Development Corporation head Jim Dodson, time is of the essence.
The RCA was, I think, considerate enough to come to Fairbanks to allow the public just to sit down and say, hey, this is what I think of the project, this is what I think of my energy costs. Really that's about just an opportunity to let the public of Fairbanks, who usually doesn't hear the RCA argue, come and have their meeting in front of the public and as I said, give them a chance to weigh in. This is a big deal for Fairbanks because, you've seen some of the numbers we put out. Our energy costs in this community are about $600 million. That is draining the lifeblood out of the community. We need to lower the energy costs. This is an opportunity to do it.
Meetings were expected to go well into the night and will resume at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. The agenda also includes presentations from Golden Valley Electric Association, Golden Heart, and College Utilities, as well as the aforementioned FEDCO.
Fairbanks is closing in on a seasonal heat record. The temperature of 80 degrees on Monday means the city has reached 80 degrees or higher for the 29th day this summer. The record is 30 days of 80 degrees or higher set in 2004. There's a good chance the record will be broken in the next few days depending on cloud cover. To put it in perspective, Fairbanks has an average of 11 days a summer when temperatures reach the 80-degree mark. Temperatures are projected to cool off a bit next week, but there's still no rain in the forecast.
Wow. Record-breaking temperatures, huh?
And it was a weird spring, weird winter, so it's just a weird year.
Very long winter, now a very hot summer.
Right, well,
so let's
hear
in with
from
Mike Schultz and see what's going on.
There's not a whole lot more I can add to what you guys just said. We're talking about hot temperatures, like I said, all the way through the weekend, close to 15 degrees above normal for this time of year. And boy, it just looks like there's no relief in sight. Right now, over the interior, we're looking at temperatures, once again, very consistent, not as warm as what's coming up in the next few days. You can see 77 degrees, a pretty good number, 76 at Eielson Air Force Base. Everybody else looking at around 77 degrees. The warmest temperature in Denali Park, surprisingly, 80 degrees. In the lower 48, a lot of rain moving toward the Florida Peninsula. We'll talk about that and our heat wave later on with all the weather. Daryl, Stephanie?
Very well, thank you, Mike. Now, when we come back, vandals have caused damage at a second Fairbanks area elementary school.
And it's that time of year again. I know you're excited, Daryl.
Oh, yeah.
I am. Fair time. We have more on what you can expect this year. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. The state will ask the director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to reconsider a decision rejecting Alaska's exploration plan for the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Regional Fish and Wildlife Service Director Jeffrey Haskett, in a letter last week, said the authorization for an exploration program on the coastal plain of the refuge expired in 1987. The state proposed an exploration plan aimed at determining the oil and gas potential in the refuge. State Natural Resources Commissioner Dan Sullivan has said that under the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act, the Interior Secretary must approve an exploration plan if it meets the necessary requirements. He has said he believes the plan does. Governor Sean Parnell said the feds, in their rejection, relied on inaccurate interpretation of the law.
The 82nd Tanana Valley State Fair will open its doors to the public this Friday and will run through the 11th of August. This year, the fair will feature many new additions. However, today the fairgrounds were a scene of organized chaos as vendors were making last-minute repairs and makeovers. Fair organizers are very happy with changes they have added, including 3 new food vendors, exciting and fun new entertainment shows, a complete asphalt coating for all of the walkways as well as the midway, and a special area that will be aimed at the younger generation.
We have some new events over in the new area that we're highlighting, the Adventureland area over next to BP. We have Joel's Place that's going to be there doing skateboard demonstrations, along with a lot of vendors that are going to be more geared towards the young adults. So I think they'll really enjoy that area, along with the beautiful new picnic area right over next to BP and Adventureland.
Vandals have caused damage at a second Fairbanks area elementary school. Vandals used an axe to break out windows at Wood River Elementary School. Alaska State Troopers on Sunday said they have leads on suspects and continue to investigate. The other incident happened in May at Two Rivers Elementary School. 3 people have been charged with breaking into the school, causing about $10,000 in damage and stealing about $7,000 in electronics.
The 2014 primary is over a year away, but the campaign is in full swing, as evidenced by some of the rhetoric. This week, the state Democratic Party accused Lieutenant Governor Meade Treadwell of collusion with a political consultant to remove names from petitions to put Alaska's new oil tax law up for a public vote. An assistant attorney general called this false. Supporters of the oil tax law have taken to calling the More Alaska Production Act a title not used during the legislative debate. And then there's Sarah Palin, whose name has been invoked in fundraising appeals by Senator Mark Begich, as well as a National Tea Party group trying to coax her into the Senate race. Pollster Mark Hellenthal says campaigns are positioning themselves for money and votes.
Alaska state health officials have responded to a village in the Yukon-Kuskokwim region that experienced a spike in active tuberculosis cases. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has more about the disease in this week's health report.
TB is an infectious disease primarily affecting the lungs. Officials say 8 active cases of the disease have been confirmed in one YK village since March. It's not an unusual occurrence for rural Alaska.
Unfortunately, every year we get multiple clusters or outbreaks of tuberculosis that occur in different villages, and usually just mostly because of the history of TB in Alaska, having lots of it not that long ago. These tend to occur in the southwest region or sometimes in the northern region, and usually contained in a village.
They may see 3 or 4 outbreaks in a village in a year.
And so what we've got recently is another one of those clusters that we've identified, and it's nothing out of the ordinary, but any outbreak or any cluster is something we get very concerned about, and we act very quickly to make sure that it's staying, contained, that we control it, and that there's no evidence of any further infection to other people.
People who contract the disease can be cured.
And once we identify someone, they're usually not so far gone with their disease that they can't benefit from, for drug therapy, from effective medications. So usually once they get in, and if they're compliant with their medications, we can prevent bad outcomes like death.
Officials recommend screenings if people have a persistent cough along with other symptoms that are associated with TB. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
So, Joe,
Yeah.
some b-ball news today?
Some sad news.
Yeah.
A little melancholy.
Yeah. You know, he was actually my JV coach in high school, too. That's how long he's been at that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, we're talking about arguably one of the best high school basketball coaches stepping down, Steve Kacheri from West Valley. We'll talk about that after the break. Plus, the Gold Panthers playing their first game in the ABL tournament tonight. We preview that game, and we have a lot more next in sports. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here, back in the sports seat for you this evening. Thanks to D. Lou for covering for me over the weekend. But now, let's get into some Tuesday sports. Yesterday, one of the Interior's most successful high school coaches is stepping down. West Valley girls basketball coach Steve Kacheri is resigning after 9 seasons on the bench for the Wolfpack. In those 9 seasons, Kacheri coached the Wolfpack to 6 MAC titles and was the runner-up in the 2012 4A state tournament. In that same year, he was the 4A girls coach of the year and the MAC coach of the year. He also won that award in 2009. The Wolfpack were 4th in the state tournament in 2010 and 2011. His team also received the 4A Girls Top GPA Award in 2010. 12 of his former players have gone on to play at the next level in college, and 2 have played professionally overseas. Recently, Kacheri's program helped produce University of Portland commit Hannah Matson, who was the 2012 Gatorade Player of the Year. Kacheri leaves West Valley with a 159-53 overall record, winning 75% of his games. Well, why now? In an email sent to Channel 11 Sports, Kacheri said, quote, "The main reason I am stepping down is that I put so much energy and commitment into this job is that I'm finding it more difficult to keep that up. We had a tremendous run and it was rewarding to help build one of the state's top-notch programs." He also thanked West Valley as well, saying, quote, "I am thankful the West Valley community, which included staff, families, students, players, and coaches who believed and worked hard to put together one of the state's best basketball programs." And the Alaska Flight basketball team ended their July season of summer basketball, if you will, with a solid showing in 2 Las Vegas tournaments. And the last day of the Bigfoot Hoops Las Vegas Classic on Sunday, the 17U team split 2 games. The first win was on a prayer of a shot by Ira Ragwinden. He banked in a deep 3-pointer for a 44-43 win over the rivals out of Massachusetts. Ragwinden finished with 10 points and 5 boards. Tyler Wells had 12 points. No miracles in the last game as the Flight lost by 1 point, 47-48, to the Gulf Coast Blue Chips from Texas. Theo Ogahadi from West High School had 13 points and 12 boards to lead the Flight, and Lathrop's Kyle Carlson had 12 points. The 16U team went 1-6, and the 17U team finished 3-3 in the Las Vegas Classic. There are a couple of events starting on August 10th, but if you want to participate, the deadline is tomorrow for the athletic seniors who want to register for the Alaska International Senior Games. You have until tomorrow. That's the last day to sign up. To register, just visit alaskaisg.com for more info. There are 24 athletic events, including co-ed ice hockey, bowling, archery, table tennis, and 3-on-3 basketball. Again, to register, visit alaskaisg.com. Also on the August 10th day, the IFDA will have its poll at the fairgrounds, and the deadline to sign up your dog is tomorrow. You can register at interiorfreightdog.com. A $1,000 purse is for the top 3 winners. Any dog at least 25 pounds and 1 through 10 years of age can pull. Also, 2012 and 2013 season awards will also be given out to the dogs. Tonight, your ABL champions, the Alaska Gold Panthers, will entertain a familiar opponent in their first game of the ABL tournament. The Gold Panthers and the Anchorage Bucks will lock horns again. The Panthers and the Bucks were evenly matched in the regular season. The season series was tied 4-4. For the season, the Panthers led the league in home runs with 19, but the Bucks have given up 96 earned runs on the season. That's second best in the league. They are led by pitcher Garrett Mundell, whose 4 wins are second to Nathan Bannister of the Gold Panthers. Mundell has the top ERA in the league at .76, but he'll face some of the best hitters in the league in David Edwards, the home run leader with 5. DH Casey Munoz is batting .315, 4th best in the ABL. The ABL tournament is a round-robin format that runs through Friday. The Kenai Peninsula Oilers elected not to participate. The game starts at 9 p.m. tonight at Mulcahy Stadium. The top teams will battle it out on Saturday for the ABL tournament title. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVS sports, just go to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com. You can also get our app. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your forward weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time. The forecast. Oh, the forecast. The forecast. Blah.
You guys get down, you're ready to get a DRS. What?
So we're heavy, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying, we're heavy, that's what you're saying.
Are we heavy?
No. Talk to her, Mike.
All right. Well, it's about this way, Justice. Man was made, no, I'm just kidding. We are talking about hot temperatures once again, all day long, all week long. And they'll be here again into next week, probably. All right. The temperatures should be right around the low to mid 80s, I should say, into the weekend. Okay.
Doesn't work. Okay. Just checking.
You like my bears?
That's so cute.
A little cub.
I didn't know that was I thought it was a dog.
Yeah, it's a cub.
Bear, and I was like, that's an amazing photo.
Yeah.
Oh, we're light, so you can take your time.
Great.
How much light? Minute light, 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. Cool. I like it. Hey, welcome back into Fairbanks City News. Once again, Mike Schultz with you looking at weather. We're not going to put the fans away yet, folks. Those temperatures are going to continue quite warm all the way into the weekend and to the first part of next week, the way it looks right now. Our photograph tonight, a nice one. This one's sent in by Louis and Debbie Sangeral. They were the Katmai National Monument there, and they were able to capture some of the bears. And this one is Mama and Cub at the Katmai running along the beach there. Again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at ktbf11.com. Here's our numbers right now. 80 for our high, so once again, we continue the 80-degree mark. 75 right now. The overnight low, 54 last night. Record high, 90 in 1977, 32 in 1929. Your sunrise and sunset, well, that works out to 18 hours and 14 minutes of daylight, a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday. Our satellite picture, again, showing most of the showers down south of the Alaska Range, just a few creeping across the Alaska Range. But you can look out to the south and you see the buildups of the cumulonimbus clouds there, but nothing really coming our direction as it's all moving from the west to the east. What's going on across the rest of the state? Pretty quiet for the most part. No real precipitation to talk about. Lots of sunshine over southeast Alaska, down across the Gulf of Alaska. Cloudy skies along the Aleutian chain, also clouds around Nome, and some fog around the Barrow area, 55 degrees there. Fort Yukon, 73, lots of sunshine. Lower 48 weather tonight. Again, temperatures warming back up again over the western half of the country, 95 at Salt Lake City, Denver, 88 degrees. Some thunderstorms around Minneapolis, also thunderstorms around the Gulf Coast states, and a very hot Dallas, 99-degree reading. On our satellite radar, you can see showers and thunderstorms moving across the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley, bringing in some very heavy rainfall there. While out to the west, things are dry and hot. It's going to continue that way. And today you can see there were just isolated showers over the southwest part of the country, heating back up again over Texas and drenching thunderstorms like we saw on the satellite and radar. The overall outlook for later on this week, again, very warm temperatures spreading over the western half of the country, showers across the Great Lakes, and lots of rain expected across the Florida Peninsula, what was once a tropical depression. Back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections, rain and fog for Barrow, partly cloudy skies in Nome, and also at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at lots of sunshine in the Fairbanks area, just an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the Healy area. Over southeast Alaska, another great day expected there. Juneau, 73 degrees, warmer, Ketchikan, 74. Over the southwest part of the state, looks like rain likely at Cold Bay, partly cloudy skies for Bethel, and also at Kodiak. And over south central regions, we're looking at partly cloudy skies for Anchorage, mostly sunny skies for Valdez and Homer. Our forecast for tonight, clear skies will continue and very mild temperatures, 59 degrees the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, again, another hot day back over the 80-degree mark, 82 expected, and the 5-day outlook, look at the temperatures. One time I would real quickly tell you we have a travel advisory in effect for the Richardson Highway. It's going to be closed Thursday from 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. 10 miles south of Paxson, and the delay is to replace a girder that was damaged earlier this month. All right, now our 5-day outlook. As you can see here, looking at temperatures in the low to mid 80s and then cooling off by Sunday below 80 degrees. No precipitation expected. The only good thing we can say is that this heat and dry spell we have now did not happen when we had the fires going. It would have really been ugly, but we had that rain in between, so it weighted things down nicely. But boy, this is one heck of a summer.
I should have got a pool this year. You know, like it is so warm out.
So many people are coming up to me and saying, what's winter going to be like? And I say, flip a coin.
Okay.
There's no way of telling. I mean, there's no indication of what's going on. We've had such a weird year.
It has been
I wouldn't
weird.
be surprised if we had dumped on. Who knows?
Oh, no.
As long as we don't get 60 below, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I would be happy with that too. I really would.
Very good. Thank you, Mike. Sounds great. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, new safety questions after a series of massive explosions at a Florida propane plant. Now that's coming up next with Brian Williams.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
I'm going to take you guys back 1 year.
Okay.
You guys went on the slingshot, didn't you?
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well,
Yes.
they were at the fair today putting it together. Now you can see exactly what goes into putting that together. We're going to leave you with that, and we hope to see you back here at 11.